Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know a few of you folks are still checking in and getting your great giveaways. Aren't those beakers nice? And getting some snacks and getting seated, but it's getting late, so let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to the Spring Bio5 membership meeting. I hope you all are settling into the after school mode and gotten all your finals in if you were teaching and trying to figure out what you're going to do with your summer and all that kind of good stuff. So we're glad you're here. So the agenda today, I'm going to give you an overview of Bio5. I'll go through this quickly because those of you who have been in Bio5 for a while have seen a lot of this material before, but we have a lot of new members and I think it doesn't hurt. I could have a quiz as to who remembers what the 5 is in Bio5. All right. I think that's cheating. You have to know, but any rate, then talking about some of the things we accomplished this past year, fiscal year 19, which ends for us in June, and then looking ahead to next year. And then I'm going to hand the microphone over to Lisa Romero, who will talk about some of our membership benefits and responsibilities. And hopefully you all picked up some of those packets on your way in and can go through them. I think, we do a ton of stuff here and we want you as members to take advantage of it all. So we want to make sure that's available. Some program updates, Q&A, and then after you're done, we're getting the photo booth set up. If you don't have your picture on the entry, please stop and get it taken so that we can add you to that grouping there. And I think it'll also just be available as a professional headshot, right? Okay, great. So the 5, agriculture, engineering, medicine, pharmacy, science. These are disciplines. They do happen to map pretty well to colleges here, not one-to-one, right? We have 2 colleges of medicine, but they are intended to be disciplines. So we do have people from many more than just those 6 colleges. Also, 5, it kind of stands for, the researchers, the investigators, our students, our trainees, the community, industry, and government. So that's kind of the communities that we serve, which also happens to be 5. What are our mandates? These are given to us as part of the TRIF, the Technology Research Infrastructure Fund, Proposition 301 funds that fund an awful lot of what we do here. So 3 things: improving health, promote excellence and collaboration among all of you, and working in these biosciences disciplines. We have an economic development mandate. We're supposed to be, as a land-grant university and as a primarily state and taxpayer funded entity, we are here to help take those scientific discoveries, the entire pipeline from discovery through to translation, all aspects of that pipeline being equally important. And engaging students and community, so reach out to the next generation. So the main things that we do in terms of actions to meet those goals is supporting hires, supporting research development, so that's where our pilot grants and our events come in, training the next generation with our activities like KEYS and our support of Science City, and fostering collaboration and interactions. Here's our current structure. Right now, we report to the Research, Discovery, and Innovation. So we're one of the cross-cutting institutes. There are many others like Institute of the Environment, the Confluence Center, and others, which currently goes through the Provost's office. You all have probably heard that that's going to change. They're in the process of hiring a senior vice president for research and innovation that will include not just the research office, but also Tech Parks and Tech Launch Arizona as well. And then we also have various advisory boards consisting of the deans, community members, and biosciences industry members like you. And then we also go through a formal review. We're not a department, but we are a unit, so we go through something very similar to an academic program review. And as of, I think, fresh off the press, there's currently 311 members from 12 colleges and 68 departments. Infrastructure, in addition, as an engineer, I was always stuck in the ugliest post-World War II building on campus. So to me, it's just a miracle every day that I get to come into this beautiful building and have my office here. And now I get to have my laboratory in the adjacent beautiful Biosciences Research Lab building. Bio5 administers this building entirely, and the BSRL we administer in concert with Health Sciences and the research office. And we have our administration that helps do that and many other things, many of which Lisa will be talking about. Okay, the leadership team. I'm fortunate to have some associate directors who help out with things, and I'm going to find them and ask them to introduce themselves. Okay, I see one here.
Sorry, I got my mouth full. My name is Ski Chilton. I've been here about 9 months from Wake Forest University School of Medicine. Mike Hammer and I have worked a lot, as well as the other associate directors, in the area of precision nutrition and wellness. We may have to change that name, but we've worked a great deal. I think we've had incredibly successful precision wellness initiative series that many of you have gathered. So that's kind of what we're doing.
I'm Michael Hammer, and Ski introduced me already, and I'm the director of the Genomics Core, and sort of supposedly take care of the omics aspects of the associate directorship. But I'm really interested in seeing people get together and start collaborating and know who we are. It's amazing after all the years that people are here that sometimes we've never heard of each other or know each other. And so some of the things we're doing is kind of mixers to try and get people together and foster collaboration. So that's what I'm mostly interested in this year.
Thank you.
I'm Yves Lucier, the director for informatics in the center. I've been involved in a number of strategic initiatives in the main campus as well as here. So I'm here to announce from very good source that I think your membership fees will be waived this year. And seriously, there are good opportunities for data science and analytics being involved with technologies and biology and medicine. The President Robbins is always speaking of the fourth industrial revolution. If you have just heard a bit of it, you may want to look into it a bit further. It's what they predict should be the next way in which innovation would hinge, and it requires more than the analytics and more than the technology. It's embedded in health or biology. And around that, there's a number of strategic initiatives that will probably empower our director to do far more than we could before. She's actually one of the key leaders in the health sciences for one such initiative as well.
Thank you. And Mike Warby is our fourth AD, and he was not able to make it here today. Mike is also the department head of ecology and evolutionary biology, and from many ways gives us a main campus and basic science perspective. Also, Lisa Romero will be talking to you later. She's our senior director for public affairs and engagement. And Kate Riley is our director of finance and operation. Do you two just want to wave? Probably everybody knows. If they don't know you very well, you should get to know these people. All right, support. Where does our funding come from? We do get state and institutional support. So that really covers things, the F and the A, the facilities and the administration. So that's faculty and staff support services. The main portion of our funding does come from the TRIF initiative, as I mentioned, which gives us our missions. And that is for everything from faculty recruitment, these pilot programs, education, outreach and training, industry, core and shared facilities. And then we do have, actually we could bump that number up a little bit, money from philanthropy. We were very fortunate. One of our accomplishments this year was to get a wonderful chunk into an endowment for Keys from the Brown Family Foundation. And we've had many other people, including some of the folks in here, thank you very much, who contribute to that program and other missions of Bio5. So our research focus areas, I went through these, so we are in the process of making sure that we're aligned with the university and the health sciences strategic plans. And I keep looking at these and thinking, do I need to change them? And actually the answer is still no. These are the 6 that were defined about 3 years ago, and they still hold. and are still well aligned. And I think that's no mistake. I mean, we had looked very carefully at what our strengths were and where the field was going and what we should be doing in the future. And lo and behold, I think the strategic planning process came up with about the same things. So precision medicine, omics technology, infectious disease and microbiome, aging, technology-enabled health, biosensors, and then bioimaging and bioinformatics. So the ones on the right-hand side being more enabling technologies. Core facilities. We have a lot of core facilities here, and I hope you'll take advantage of them. And that information is available on the website about what they have, either things that Bio5 directly administers, our core facilities, or things that are located here in the Keating building or the Biosciences Research Lab building, or ones that we support in one way or another. I wanted to just pick out two to highlight. There's a new induced pluripotent stem cell core led by Jared Churko and in the Sarver Heart Center. And I hope that if you have any interest in stem cells, that you will take a look at the great things that they're doing there. The other is the device prototyping service. If you haven't been in the building in a while, you may have noticed that the lobby's changed. With the Catalyst moving out, then the biomedical device prototyping services moved into that space. If you have any desire for a gizmo, either for medical or just something you need in the laboratory, and you want somebody to help you with it, we have a fabulous engineer, Scott Dregny, who can help you with that. Consultation is free. If it gets down to building something, then we'll charge you materials. And if it's something that you don't have funds for, but will maybe help you get a grant in the future, then we can talk about providing you a small seed grant for that. Highlights from the last year. So we had new faculty brought to U of A. You already heard from Skeet Chilton over there. Drug discovery, Wei Wang was brought in recently. And we have several Bio5 research faculty. So we are not a degree granting unit, and we don't have tenure track faculty lines in Bio5, but we do have many research faculty and research scientists who call Bio5 home. All of you who are here in the room, would you stand up? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, great. Thanks. So we've got 4 of you out of, about half of the folks who are in that role here or there. So we have some great people who call Bio5 home. We help and hopefully have helped with lots and lots of grants, and hopefully have been a help to you in getting your own individual grants done. Just wanted to highlight that Cyverse, which used to be iPlant, which really goes back to the very beginning of the Bio5 Institute, was recently refunded for another 5 years. They rebranded themselves as Cyverse, and now they're branching out, not just with NSF funding to bring the plant genomics community together, but they're doing everything from viruses to space situational awareness. Seed and equipment grants, we gave out $1.3 million in seed and equipment grants last year. So this is where a big chunk of our discretionary funds go, is back to you, the investigators, to help you be successful. So these are, things that are going to help give return on investment, things that you need now that will bring in external dollars later. And so we just are going through reviewing the seed grant applications right now. So be thinking about what you want to put in for next year. The equipment grant applications will be in the fall. 64, and Lisa is over there sighing. Interdisciplinary workshops, conferences, and events. Yeah, I really challenged when I became director, for us to be the place that people wanted to go to when they needed somebody to convene their colleagues together. And that is facilitated by us, but is driven by you. And you all really responded, and you came up with all kinds of really great ideas of things that we could do, from seminar series to afternoon workshops to colloquia to week-long conferences. And we did a lot of them last year. So at the expense of getting beat up, keep them coming. Let us know. We need to know what it is that we can do. We can facilitate that. We can provide the room. We can provide lunch. We can help pay for an external speaker. We can run the RSVP system. But we need you all to be the scientific drivers and say, what's the next hot topic that we should get people together? Or I know there must be a dozen other colleagues on campus who are interested in this, and I'm not really sure who they are, but I think I can help track them down, and we can help you with that. Or, wow, my friend at Northwestern just got a fabulous center grant. I think we could get one of those too. Could we bring her to U of A to explain how she did it so that we could copy that model or modify it, for U of A? those types of things. So keep them coming. We also implemented 2 new programs this year, the Bio5 Team Scholars Program, which allows people who are not currently on this side of campus and would benefit from having some release time, spending some time in the buildings, having access to the facilities, working with the core people here, working with our research scientists and faculty. And by the way, to help with that, we'll help pay for a postdoc or a graduate student. So we implemented that, and I think that was really successful. We're now just closed. If you see this and are dying and want to put in your application, come talk to me. But actually, it just closed last Friday, but we can talk about it. So that's gone really well. The other thing I think has been really exciting is a postdoc fellows, Bio5 postdoc fellows program. It's a small amount of money, but I think it helps those postdocs get together, form a mentoring team, get a little bit of money they can apply to their professional development and say, I am a Bio5 postdoctoral fellow, and help make them even more attractive to get their next job. Couple of things we love to highlight, all forms of impact that we've had. One way that's done is by startup companies. So Regulonics, if you're not aware, is really tackling the opioid crisis head on by coming up with a new class of painkillers that are not opioid based. And so that has 2 or 3 Bio5 members, Rajesh Khanna, May Khanna, and then Vijay Gokhale, who is one of our Bio5 research scientists. Joe Coelho looking at vertical farming. I think this is great. Given my not successes with trying to farm outdoors, I'm really thinking the indoor farming might be a great thing to do too. Robbie Brenton recently receiving, among other awards that she's gotten recently, a $5.9 million grant looking at sex differences in Alzheimer's disease, and really how do we change the course of this disease, and she's heavily involved in the Aging Initiative. Michael Hammer, looking at a genetic approach to treating glioblastoma, talk about a disease that's dire. Are there novel ways that we can attack this? I think, hopefully you're getting an idea of the diversity of the type of members that we have here and the great work that they're doing. So what types of events do we do? Some of them are really long-standing. Bruce Walsh has been running this Plant Breeding Institute, which brings experts from all over the world to Tucson in January every year. And this is the 2012. So I guess that's the 8th one happened this year. And it's just really great. So this is kind of on the large side of what we do, right? This is an international conference that we run. We have people here. We take care of a lot of logistics for that, but we do a lot of things that are smaller too. All right, here's an eye chart. So innovation translation connecting U of A and bioindustry. Patents disclosures, you can look through all these numbers. You all have been really productive. That's one way of measuring it. Hands-on training, Uwe Hilgert and others running software carpentry, statistics, imaging, hands-on conferences that we do. And sometimes that can be a weekend training. Sometimes it can just be an afternoon session. Interfacing with the state's industry clusters. The biosciences clusters are natural for us, but actually in January, we hosted the Arizona Bioindustry Clusters Arizona Photonics Days event, which was a little different. So it was fun to have a different group of people over here. The annual Student Industry Networking event, I hope you send your students to it every year. This year we had 41 companies. And I think the really neat part about this is that this isn't a career fair. I mean, it's somebody, usually somebody gets a job out of it, but that's not the point. The point is for students to come in when they're a freshman and talk about what these companies want and what those students need to be doing for the next 4 years in order to make them be prepared. Industry loves it because it's an opportunity for them to explain what skills they really need, and the students love it because it's low pressure, it's casual, it's fun. We have good food, and everybody goes to get around and talk with companies. And then finally, our Bio5 Business Advisory Board has been, really fantastic to us. If you know a great member of the biosciences community that you might want to nominate to be on that board, please let me know. Keys is starting. Well, Keys is year round, right? But Keys is, the students will be here soon. When will they be here? Yeah, and then they'll be in the labs the next week, right? So I know many of you take Keys students year after year. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you. I think we're going to start having training and things events very soon. And so that's just been really wonderful. Community, so as part, those 63 events were things that were basically research and more internal focused. I mean, we brought external people to them, but they're more research focused. But we do a ton of engagement with community, government, and industry as well. So we counted 75 different groups that we interfaced with last year, 35 tours of Bio5 and Biosciences research labs, serving 520 guests. So thank you to those of you who are patient and host people in your labs over and over again. We had the Science City, which if you haven't been to, you have to go to. That's part of the Tucson Festival of Books. Discover Bio5, a huge special thank you to all of you who participated in that, which I know was an enormous amount of people. We didn't really know what to expect, right? So a couple weeks beforehand, we had, I don't know, 100, 150 RSVPs or something. We're starting to get worried that nobody's going to come to our party. We didn't have to worry about that, right? We had 600 guests show up to this, and everybody I talked to was just so thrilled. For some people, it was their first time to come here. For some people, hadn't been here in a long time. Some people were just curious what was going on. Some of them were old friends who were back again and again just to see what new stuff we were doing. So thank you to all of you who opened your labs, who had tabletops, who helped out with that experience in any way. And that was great. And, I want to take this time because I don't want to forget. This was, I think the staff just like fell down in exhaustion when they were done, except they couldn't because Science City was 3 days later. Okay, so this is how hard our staff works. So I want everybody who's on staff here at Bio5 to please stand up or wave your hand. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. And also, I go around and talk a lot personally, and we invite groups in here. If, most of you have opportunities through your home departments and stuff to kind of get on the speaker circuit or talk with people. But if you don't feel like you're getting that opportunity, we get a ton of requests from community organizations who would like people to talk with them. So let us know if you'd like us to keep your name in that pool. Okay, so that's what's past. What's going forward? So I think that a lot of it is continuing what we're doing that's been so successful. Is being part of the strategic plans. Lots of our members are on committees, which is great. I'm the initiative lead for 5.1, which is part of the Innovation Powerhouse for Health Sciences. There are, lots of folks here who are getting involved in that process. And as I said, I don't think it's going to be particularly hard to align ourselves with that strategic plan because frankly, I kind of feel like we were leading it all along. But nonetheless, we will make sure that our resources and our efforts are directed towards supporting the plan. We will continue to engage the pipeline of trainees. And I think that will be basically, doing all these models we have from high school through postdoctoral. And one of the things I really want to do is I get upset when I see people thinking of education and research as being two different things, particularly at the undergraduate level. There seems to be this, there's this undergraduate education thing, and then there's this research thing, and the two shall not meet. And we all know that's not true. Right? Our research couldn't exist without the help of the trainees, and the trainees benefit tremendously from being here. Why are the University of Arizona Research One University rather than a university that doesn't do research? They benefit from us, and we really, I think, all need to be responsible for pointing that out so it doesn't turn into an us versus them situation, but rather how can we work together? All right. Evaluating, I'm sorry, I skipped over number 2, develop event programming. So as I brought up, if you have ideas for events you'd like to host, please let us know. And then evaluating and reviewing core facilities, that's ongoing, and we've done a lot of that already. The first floor of the Keating building is now a beautiful analytical chemistry, omics, functional genomics, drug discovery core facility. I got kicked out of my space. I can't complain. I got to move into another beautiful space. But in order to make that one contiguous facility where a lot of things from all over campus were consolidated together, and not only that, we brought in a fabulous facilities director. And what we're hoping to is all of you all who said, oh gosh, it's been a little hard to work with the cores. I've got a place I know how to do it cheaper. and better or being more responsive. I mean, there may be very good reasons why you still need to go outside, but we're hoping to attract as much business back to the U of A by being responsive to the needs of the investigators. And then finally, you know, kind of the elephant in the room, the renewal of TRIF. So the current cycle of TRIF goes through fiscal year 21 or June of 2021. And it's been a little murky exactly where that process stands, to my understanding. The legislature and the governor signed saying that Proposition 301, exactly as is, including the portion called TRIF that comes to the state's 3 universities, will continue for another 20 years. Now, the only problem with that situation is that what the legislature puts into law, they can change at any moment they want. The first 20 years was a voter-approved mandate, so they couldn't touch it, even though during the economic downturn they tried. They couldn't. And so, you know, we'll likely have another economic downturn, so what's going to be the first thing to be robbed? So everybody knows that, and we have a lot of friends in the legislature who have really been working very hard for us. And so they would like to see this go back to the voters again. And so there's working on that process, and exactly what that voter initiative would look like is what's going on right now. And all indications are that things are good and that things are going well. One of the threats we have is that we have a highly under-supported K through 12 system here in Arizona as well. And the Red for Ed people have every right, and I fully applaud what they're doing. They would like to see all the money go to K through 12. I would like to see lots and lots of money go to K through 12 and money continue in, you know, for the TRIF funds. So we are not allowed to lobby, and I'm expressing my personal opinion and telling you facts about what's going on. I want you to be informed voters and to know what's happening, and to do your conscience and go and make sure you contact your representatives and let them know how you feel about all kinds of things, including TRIF funding. So that's the strategy right now. We'll keep you informed. As it is right now, it is unfortunately starting to crimp our ability to do long-term planning. So right now we're not planning for any additional faculty hires beyond, there's a few more that are still in process, because, you know, a faculty hire is, you know, basically a 1.5 year long process, and then you're hoping to support them for 3 years, which is beyond our window. But for the next 2 years, we will be running the equipment grants, we will be running the pilot grants, we will be doing all kinds of great things, we'll be running your events, and we're here to serve you. And with that, then I'd be happy to take any quick questions now before I hand it over to Lisa. Ooh, either I was incredibly clear or that was just way too much information. Okay, well, why don't you think about your, do you have one? Yeah.
Our representatives here.
So the question is, are we allowed to invite our representatives here? So that process of dealing with our state representatives would go through state relations, federal representatives goes through federal relations. So we as faculty or as Bio 5 are not supposed to be doing that type of thing. We can certainly talk with our government relations group and make suggestions about things. And we do, we have people here all the time. To the university, and in other venues, we have ways of contacting them. Yeah, sure.
Hi, everybody. Wow. We're not being very exciting today, apparently. All those words up on the screen. So I just wanted to, as Jennifer mentioned, my name's Lisa Romero, and I'm the Senior Director for Public Affairs and Engagement for Bio 5. That team is very diverse. My team does everything under the umbrella of marketing, communications, events, tours, education, outreach, and training, and our IT and digital technology capabilities. So I have an incredible team that pulls off those 64 events and everything else that you see that comes out of Bio 5. And we would not be where we are without them. So I just want to say a quick thank you to them. Today, though, I just kind of wanted to do a reminder of what Bio5 membership means. It means really that we're a partnership. The Bio5 staff is here to serve as your partner in doing a lot of things, to promote your research, to promote your work, to make connections with other people on campus and in the community, and again, to facilitate events and conferences and things that can help connect you and promote your research in other diverse ways. I'm not going to go into all the detail because in the back there are several documents that you can take with you. This highlights the benefits and responsibilities of membership, so please take that just as a reminder, because it's really important for us both to toe that line. I think broadly what I just want to make you aware of is that, again, we're a team. We're focused together on engaging and promoting research mission of U of A and Bio5 in a collaborative interdisciplinary spirit. That's what it means to be a Bio5 member. I get asked that a lot. I know Jennifer does as well, and I'm sure you do as well. You know, what does that actually mean? This is not your primary department, but that's why we exist, with that interdisciplinary infrastructure, collaborative mentality, and we're here to help support you in that. Also, that commitment to training the next generation of scientists. Again, as Jennifer mentioned, for us, the research and education missions go hand in hand. Everything we're doing from an outreach and education training perspective lends itself to the space Bio5 has within the university, within the community, in terms of promoting interdisciplinary research. So with that, though, we need your help in that. We have tons of opportunities through our events, through hosting our tours, of which we have a lot every year as well, through hosting high school students in our KEYS program. We need your help and participation in making sure that those activities remain a success, that brings people here to Bio5, that again promotes the research mission and the education missions. So for those of you that are awesome standbys in doing all of that, I want to thank you, because truly, you know, we know the amount of time it takes away from your real jobs to get a group of 25 people that come through and open your lab to them. We know what it takes to host high school students, young high school students, for 7 weeks during the summer. It's a lot to ask, and we appreciate it very much. We could not do what we do without that. So if you are not one of those people, or if you are new to Bio5 and would like more information on how to get in the rotation for doing that sort of thing, please talk to me. Come down. I'm in the admin suite. Talk to any of us on staff about how to do that, because we always need more people. We don't want to we already do wear out the people that offer to do that endlessly. So we love to make sure we keep adding our other base of incredible researchers to that team. And then we ask that you, as a Bio5 member, and again, this partnership that I'm talking about, make sure that you're acknowledging the Bio5 affiliation when you give presentations, when you, put it in your signature line, when you get interviewed for news stories, or if we write one, make sure that not only are you highlighting your home department, but you're highlighting that Bio5 affiliation. That helps us pick those stories up and cross-promote them through all our channels. And so it's just, again, back to that really important partnership. So that you all know the detailed ways in which our staff can help you. We've done this document, these how-to documents that are also in the back, and we will email them out as well and put them on the website, and we continually are updating those. But this becomes sort of a one-stop reference for you in terms of services we can help you with. There's how-tos on the building resources, the public affairs support, the IT support, and the administrative support that we offer you. So please take a look at that. And there's also contact information and names so that you know immediately who to contact. Jennifer already mentioned our KEYS program is starting June 3rd. Really excited to have 50 new young people from across the state come in for this summer. We are going to have, you're going to need some patience. The first few weeks, they're getting used to things, and there are a lot of people roaming around and some very excited staff and young people. So we appreciate your patience and your support in that program as well. That program continues to grow, continues its trajectory of really impacting the state of Arizona. We have a tremendous a percentage of the graduates of that program that end up at U of A, if not at U of A, at the other two universities in the state. And these are young adults who could go anywhere. From the last summer's class, we actually had 4 Flynn Scholars this year from that program. So it's a really impressive group of kids. If you are, again, a faculty member that hosts a KEYS student or a couple of KEYS students, we have a couple of labs that do host duplicate students. And I want to thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for doing that. You will be invited to some training and some lab mentor training sessions coming up, and we look forward to having you meet your new students. I wanted to give you just a quick sense of the scope of that program. We have 50 interns this year. Let's see, including 2 from a physical science interns. We have 17 out of Southern Arizona interns coming in to Tucson. Those are from 17 different high schools. So 17 kids from 17 different high schools across the state. And 33 local interns from 16 different high schools. So it's really exciting that we're getting all this diversity and all these different backgrounds coming into Bio 5. 46 of you are hosting interns this summer. 8 of you are first-time mentors. So again, thank you for that. And I hope that you have an awesome experience with KEYS. I think with that, I'm going to introduce Lomax. Lomax Boyd is our manager, IT manager for Bio 5. That title is kind of, he was going to give me a list of his accomplishments to
I was promised food. So.
introduce him. But Lomax is going to be talking a little bit about our member track platform. This is the way in which we filter your biographies to our website and to other programming that drives our external sort of front for our Bio 5 members. And we are constantly updating this, and we're going to give you some ways in which you can make sure your information is up to date on that.
Thank you, Lisa. That's okay. Wow, it's the first time I've ever actually spoken to everyone in one room, and when you're all calm and no one's panicked. and it's great. So their phone's broken, just this morning we had an incident. So anyway, I'm going to talk about membership data. What is it and how does it help you and benefit you, and what you can do to improve it, change it, whatever. So internal, we have this website that we manage your data. It's called MemberTrack, and just really, these are just talking points. It's basically a web database that organizes, and we can retrieve data on the membership. We use it to process your applications, renewals, things like that. And we hold the bunch of profile data in here, photographs, your research interest statement, and your CV. How and why is this important? Well, we use that material for marketing collateral, marketing material, collateral, print material, brochures, posters, highlighting your work, press releases, lobby wall projects. So that data is used, and then lastly, not the most important, but it's used on the website and news articles. So the data that's in there is used to highlight your work across all the different areas. And so it's important to you to have that information current, up to date. So that, any questions? No questions, because I'm starting to get the glossy-eyed look. All right. So MemberTrack, to access it, it's membertrack.biofile.org. You log in using your NetID. I really do apologize, it's not the largest. Membertrack.biofile.org, login button up in the upper right. You log in with your NetID. And if for a new member, they would log in to apply for membership and start the application process. That's how this works. And here we have some of the EDS, electronic directory, some of your directory information that's pulled. I'll cover that in a second here. But just a couple of quick buttons. Update and update takes you to the next page where you can update your credentials, degrees, research interests, CV, and your all-important profile image. This information is not in like UA Vitae and in profiles, so that's why we try to gather that. We merge this data with the data that we get from Vitae and profiles, so to make a nice presentation of you to the public. So this information comes from EDS. This is what we pull: your name, your title, your primary department, your phone number, your email address, and your publications. That's another important part. We also pull the publications from profiles as well now. So, and ORCID, I won't harp on that, but if you don't know what that is, find out. It's at orcid.arizona.edu. You want to get one of those, sign up. It's just a quick way to capture all of your publication data in one location. So it's like your unique identifier as a researcher. So like your social security number for you, because there are like 4 Fernando Martinez's out there, I was told. I mean, so you don't want to mix up all that different research. Yeah, probably more than 4, but at least 4. So I'm going to change directions a little bit. That's the internal database that we use to manage your data. And on the web, this is changing directions just a little bit, but we use that on our website. This is our current view. It's a list of names, it's nice if you know who you're looking for, right? If you know their name, you can just do a quick name search. I promise you, we are getting a new website soon, and we are switching to more of the standard today of just profile pictures. So it's important to have a really good profile picture. Some of these are better than the others. Not going to point anyone out here, but you can see that it's important to have a high quality profile picture because it will be displayed here. And it also is important when it comes to printing out any print material or news articles or anything like that. We want to have a good image. So for an example, we had VJ's photograph, which was okay, but when we went to print not only VJ's but a host of other profiles for the Discover Bio 5 posters that's hung on the floors, when we blow these little images up, they get really grainy. So it's important to have a really good photograph. And this is what it looks like on the web, the new profile page. What? I randomly. This is one of our researchers, Dr. Koshi, recently. Congrats. This is just grabbing all the information and putting it together in one nice page. You can see your publications down low, the research interest statement, which you control, and this related research area is generated based on what you supply us with under the research interest statement. So if you have a really weak research interest statement, I wrote, I like research and stuff. I really can't categorize that. What does that mean? So you really need to describe your research interest. And so the automated system that pulls the areas together can have something to like grab onto. Then there's also news articles that are tagged to this researcher in this upper area here in the news section. But this information all is pretty much derived from EDS. We do not control that information. So if there's errors in there, it can be changed, but we're not the stewards of that. We have to send you off to your home departments, and then they have to send it up the chain to be approved. So it's important to just keep an eye on this information. What you can change are things that I mentioned back here on our system. One more, there we go. You can change that, and it will be reflected on the profile page. And again, these are the things we cannot control that we'll have to go to the home department. So with that being said, I mean, if you have help or need assistance, you can always email membership@biofiles.org. And I think that covers it. So any questions about membership and membership data and how it's used? And no, we're good, everybody? Yes. No, it's okay. So the question was on the membership profile page, the section on publications. Is this an active link to the paper or just what is this? It is an active link to the abstract from the source. So that these links down here were, I'm not sure the order. I'm hoping that it's most recent to oldest. Knock on wood, but it links you through to the abstract. So does that look pretty recent? Yeah, yeah. Photos are, yeah. This is important, absolutely. We want to make sure we get really high res photos. So another question.
My question is just, I'm looking to the agreement, Jennifer, and we've got to notify us of awards, things you can't pull from your BioSketch awards, keynotes, international recognition, and so on. So when that happens, do you have an automated way in which we can do that? Is it ad hoc, an email to you or to someone else? How do we do that on a regular basis so we're all conscious of not waiting till the end of the year when Jennifer asked me, give me a summary?
That is a very good question. That is above me, so I will let Lisa direct answer this question. Oh, or we can, I don't know. That's a very good question.
Such a joke. So thank you for that question. I think the realistic answer is for now, you can email me. That would be the first and quickest point of contact. To your point, we're working a lot on our systems behind all of these types of information gathering exercises that we all have to do on a regular basis. So we do hope to create an automated, way in which that is done moving forward, and we'll make sure that we communicate that out. But for now, please always let us know if you have a publication coming out, an award, a great talk that you've given, anything that we can highlight, because we use those talking points all the time, and we publicize them in as many ways as we can across our news platforms, our social media, and again, in tours. So we really appreciate getting that information from y'all.
More questions? If not, I'm going to hand it back over to Dr. Barton. So thank you.
Okay, so I know there's one more thing I need to encourage you all to, many of you, if you've gotten any trip support in the past 5 years, have received a request to fill out a survey, and it is a little onerous. But please do fill that out. I hope that I've made it clear that we need to show the impact and all the good ways that we've used that funding, and you all have done amazing things. We want to make sure that's documented. One thing that's a little new this year, going back to showing how research and education are linked, there's a question in there about how you've used your research in ways that have impacted undergraduate education. Is there, an example you gave in a class that came from your own research activities? Did you, have undergraduates working in your lab? We already have captured that, but making that link a little more explicit. So I know there's always somebody who's like, oh, that was 5 years ago. Do I really have to do it? Yes, please. We want to continue to show all that great ways, and we know it's some of your time, but again, appreciate that. Okay, other things to talk about. Yes, again, pictures. If you don't have your picture up in the entry and would like that, or would just like a nice headshot, please do stop by. and get your picture taken. Is there anything else that I should cover? Kate, Lisa, am I doing good? Okay, I think I covered it all. All right, well, we have a few minutes, so I'd like to open it up for questions. If somebody wants to sneak back and start getting their picture taken while we're doing the Q&A period, please feel free. Then we won't get a mad rush at the end. But yeah, who has questions? Comments? Great announcements. New kids, dogs? Okay. All right.
I was just going to say that I did the Bio5 open house thing, and lots and lots. I was sitting near the front entrance, so many people were asking me, you know, what in the world is Bio5? And now that you've been having these meetings, I could actually tell them. So, like 5-6 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I must admit that, you know, that's a question that I made it a priority to get clear in my own mind and try to communicate more clearly to all of the members in the community as well. Any other questions? All right, thank you all for being here. Have a good summer.